It's the first of its kind in the world. Isn't that amazing?
Is breathing life into old laws. UVic's Indigenous Law Wing is officially open and will take you inside.
They're actually very strong opiates, even more potent than fentanyl.
A warning tonight about a rise in powerful and deadly pills tainting the illegal drug supply. Why officials say it's more dangerous than your typical opioid. Plus, Adam finds out how quirky collages featuring animals and outfits inspired a meaningful connection between a father and daughter. Later on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Nafisa's off tonight. The world's first Indigenous law program officially has a home. The University of Victoria broke new ground 5 years ago when it launched the program. And as our Brendan Strain shows us, now students and professors have classrooms and cultural spaces made specifically for them.
We recognize that this work is for our future generations.
It's the University of Victoria's Faculty of Law new Indigenous Law Wing.
It's the first of its kind in the world. Isn't that amazing?
It will train the next generation of legal professionals in the growing movement of Indigenous laws alongside Canadian law, empowering First Nation communities to reclaim and exercise their authority over their own legal systems.
Indigenous law is as fulsome in scope as Canadian law. It enables Indigenous peoples historically and the present day to manage all aspects of our lives collaboratively.
The program was launched at the university in 2018.
I hope to take this education as far and wide as I possibly can to advance the rights of Indigenous peoples.
Ashley Warhan is a recent graduate of the 4th cohort to complete the Indigenous Law program at UVic.
Right now, I'm starting my journey as an articling student with the Environmental Law Center here at UVic Law.
She has learned the legal orders of 6 different First Nations, along with Canadian common law.
We will listen first and design second. And that's what we did.
Today, the new wing, added onto the old law building, got its official unveiling. It's more than 2,400 square meters in size, came in at a cost of $46 billion, and is the result of 5 years of consultation with local First Nations, along with other stakeholders. Matthew Hickey was an architect on that design team.
They could have built anything here, but I think the intent was to build something that was a teacher in itself and not just another building.
Hickey says the footprint of the property had to be pushed into some of the university's old-growth forest, which was unavoidable. 19 of those trees have been worked into the design of the interior of the new wing.
We felled those trees early. They were dried and they've been used in this interior forest, as we call it.
It's an impressive building that houses the world's first Indigenous law program, shaping the careers of Canada's next generation of lawyers in work to give First Nation communities authority over their own legal systems. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Saanich.
A drug checking service on Vancouver Island is seeing a troubling rise in an illegal synthetic opioid that can be more powerful than fentanyl and less receptive to the overdose reversing drug naloxone. It's found mostly in counterfeit pressed pills, which officials say is attracting a younger crowd. CTV's Yvonne Raymond has more.
Technicians providing free anonymous drug checking services on Vancouver Island are noticing a rise in a powerful opioid tainting the illegal supply.
Nitazines is a novel psychoactive substance. They're actually very strong opiates, even more potent than fentanyl and some of its analogs.
Victoria's substance drug checking team says it's seen a 16% rise in nitazines, particularly in counterfeit pressed pills that may be sold as oxy or dilaudid.
Speaking personally, my concern is that people with not a huge tolerance, if they experience a potent opiate, overdose is definitely at the top of my mind.
There are no confirmed tests while our cameras roll on this day. According to federal data, nitazine-related poisonings can be harder to reverse with naloxone.
I think what we found with nitazines is that as this crisis continues, the opioid supply is getting increasingly complex. And so the demands on drug checking are increasing also. And so being able to have some of these technologies work together is more and more necessary.
Island Health says we encourage anyone who has substances that are not directly from a pharmacy to get them tested, to not use alone, use overdose prevention.
It's a right to have that information, and what people do with that information is up to them.
The The scientists and co-lead of Substance, along with the team, say it's hard to know why nitazines are rising in the regional supply now.
As a total trend, I think that if there is a more potent opiate that's been discovered 60 years ago or tomorrow, the illicit suppliers are going to have their way with it.
Improved drug checking technology also helps keep tabs on an opioid that was discovered in the mid-20th century and never approved for human consumption. Yvonne Raymond, CTV News, Victoria.
The province says it is now going after vape manufacturers to make them accountable for public health costs. Today, the province introduced the Vaping Product Damages and Healthcare Costs Recovery Act, which, if passed, will enable the province to take legal action against companies that cause public harm through misleading promotion of vaping products. The proposed law says BC's Attorney General will hold vaping product manufacturers and wholesalers accountable for deceptive practices.
Vaping is gaining traction in Canada, especially among youth who are being targeted with flashy packaging, flavors that appeal to them, and influencer marketing. We have seen companies misrepresent their products as a smoking cessation tool that was safe rather than disclosing the truth, that they're highly addictive, dangerous products designed to addict a new generation to nicotine.
Sharma says British Columbians will not be left paying the price for corporate deception and that the new law will build on the province's success holding tobacco and opioid manufacturers to account. Hundreds of families on the Mid-Island travel to Nanaimo's hospital to receive care for their child every year. If the length of stay is overnight or longer, they have to find their own accommodation. But as CTV's Andy Garland shows us, that's all about to change.
It will be a home away from home for families on the Mid-Island.
We've been waiting a really long time for this to happen.
1, 2, 3. Ground will soon be broken on Jesse's place, a place where families will be able to stay while their child is at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital.
The house is like this little quiet protective space that they can get to and really know that their child is just steps away.
Named after Sherry Shanahan's daughter Jessie, who was born 9 weeks early in 2013 in Nanaimo and was rushed to the neonatal ICU in Victoria for care. The family ended up staying at Janice's place.
It was so overwhelming that, the first thing that you realize is that this isn't just happening to me.
Jessie ended up passing away when she was 6 weeks old while at home. Her family wanted to create something similar to Janice's place in her memory in Nanaimo, and that's when Jessie's place was born.
Having the house here and her name on it, it really just helps us solidify that what we did will have an impact.
And to drive by and know that she's always with me, even if it's through this house and through helping others.
The Children's Health Foundation of Vancouver Island has raised $7 million for the home away from home and need to raise another $3 million.
We know that Sherry's story and Jesse's house is just going to be an inspiration for the remaining $3 million to be raised.
No donations too big and no donations too small. Everything helps.
Jesse's place will be 14,000 square feet, 3 stories, and have 16 beds.
A welcoming space for families that really help them be their best to take care of their families in often really, really stressful times.
Construction is expected to start soon, with the first families welcomed at Jesse's place in spring 2027. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
Nanaimo RCMP are looking for someone who they allege plucked a one-of-a-kind cane from a shopping cart at Woodgrove Center Mall last month. Police are asking for the public's help to identify this person. The cane that was allegedly stolen has great sentimental value and was left outside of a cafe in the mall while the owner stopped to enjoy a coffee. Nanaimo RCMP say the cane's owner hopes it was picked up mistakenly. All aboard the Playoff Express. That is, if the Toronto Blue Jays make it to the American League Championship Series. Both the Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners are one win away from advancing, so the Clipper has created a special sailing to shuttle fans from Victoria to Seattle. If both teams advance, the fast ferry will sail to Seattle at 11 a.m. next Wednesday ahead of Game 1.
This is the first matchup between the Mariners and the Blue Jays in a generation. And so it's really exciting. You've got 2 big markets. You've got 2 great teams coming together, and they're in our backyard.
The sailing will only happen if the Jays do indeed end up facing the Mariners in the ALCS. If they don't, Clipper says ticket holders will get a refund on the sailing. Go Jays, go Mariners. Coming up, the Prime Minister returns to Canada after a visit with Trump.
Certainly, it could be another one of the levers that increases North American energy security.
Mark Carney is raising the question, could the United States be interested in reviving the Keystone expansion?
14 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Victoria right now. Looks like we've got some showers on the way through the course of the long weekend. We'll talk more about that right after the break.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
Your youth looking for a fun spot to hang out? Youth nights are here. Skating, art, swims, and a place to chill. Staff-led and supervised for a safe, inclusive vibe. Check out wspr.ca for more info.
All right, Josh is here with your weather forecast. And Josh, you can start to feel it. You can see those temperatures dropping to those low teens. What's in store for the week?
Wet weather looks like it's going to be the headliner. Temperatures shouldn't stray, for most areas, shouldn't stray too far from the averages for this time of year. But we do have not just scattered showers, but some steadier rain in the forecast for a couple areas. 14 degrees right now after hitting 15 for a high in Victoria. 14 as well in Port Alberni. It's 13, a little windier in Tofino. Watch as we head through early tomorrow morning. There's a chance of some showers. This is 5 a.m. early in the morning between Nanaimo and Victoria. Up around Comox, you may see some early morning showers as well. Looks like things will dry up a little bit through the afternoon, and then here comes the next system, and this will produce some steadier rain, especially through midday and afternoon hours in and around Victoria on Friday. More scattered showers in the forecast for the weekend as well, but we'll get to that in a moment. In the north, a little different story. Fairly dry over the next couple of days. Highs of about 13 for Thursday, Friday. Partly cloudy tomorrow, and then mostly cloudy on Friday. It looks like a decent Thanksgiving long weekend. A couple of degrees cooler than average, though. Highs of about 11 for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Inland areas, 14 degrees tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. Then a chance of some steadier rain for Friday. It's a chance of showers, so a little more scattered in nature on Saturday, and then back to potentially some steadier rain on Sunday, although it doesn't look like that's going to be really heavy precipitation, just maybe a little more consistent. Out of the west coast, mixed sun and cloud, 14 degrees tomorrow. Rain for Friday, probably 10 to 20 millimeters worth of rain, especially around Tofino. Showers in the forecast for Saturday, and temperatures rebounding back into the mid-teens for Sunday and Thanksgiving. Monday, a little more sunshine in the forecast for Monday as well. In Comox, that chance of a scattered shower early in the morning, then cloudy with a few sunny breaks, high of 14 tomorrow afternoon. A little cooler, a degree or two cooler for Friday, about 12 or 13 for a high as the rain gets steadier on Friday. Chance of showers on Saturday as opposed to steady rain. And then for Sunday, Monday, it does look drier. Still pretty cloudy on Sunday, though. Highs of about 15 Sunday and Monday. In Nanaimo, chance of a shower early tomorrow morning. Most of the daytime hours should be dry tomorrow. About 15, which you can see average high is 14. So pretty close to average here for the next few days. Sunny breaks tomorrow afternoon. Rain on Friday. It will be fairly steady. Should start mid-morning at the latest and carry through into the evening hours, about 5 to 10 millimeters worth of rain. Chance of a scattered shower on Saturday, and then back to some steadier rain on Sunday. Monday looks drier with a high of 15. Mostly cloudy and 15 degrees tomorrow. That chance of early morning showers here in Victoria. 15 for the daytime high, and then 13s Friday and Saturday. Chance of hit and miss showers for Saturday and Sunday, especially late in the day Sunday. Looks like it could be a little steadier on Friday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So no really heavy, steady rain in Victoria over the next couple of days, but occasional pockets of precipitation. Kevin?
And then a nice little rebound for next week. Josh, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
2 men living in the Lower Mainland have been added to the list of Canada's top 25 most wanted fugitives. They're now both part of the BOLO program, which stands for Be on the Lookout and pays big money for information leading to convictions. Omid Mashinchi is wanted in connection with a large drug operation in Vancouver. Another case involves Gurkirat Singh. He's at large following an alleged sexual assault of a child in Delta last year.
The recent apprehension of Cody Casey, who is third on Canada's most wanted list, is a prime example of the success of the BOLO program. The major financial rewards provided by the BOLO program heighten the public's interest and keep these most wanted offenders in the public eye.
My message to all of the 25 fugitives on this list today is simple. The odds are not in your favor. Call a lawyer, come up with a plan to surrender, and just like Rabi al-Khalil, your time on the run is over.
At this morning's news conference, police officers wore hyper-realistic masks depicting the suspects on the wanted list. More than half of the fugitives featured on the BOLO Top 25 since 2018 have been arrested. Prime Minister Mark Carney is back from the nation's capital from his trip to Washington without any tangible trade progress with the U.S. Carney faced tough questions in the House of Commons from the opposition as the U.S. Commerce Secretary is dismissing any deal that would address auto tariffs. CTV's senior political correspondent Mike Licouture reports.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is back in Ottawa without a deal on tariffs. However, CTV News can confirm the Keystone XL pipeline was part of yesterday's discussion at the White House.
Prime Minister, did you and Mr. Trump agree to revive the Keystone XL pipeline?
Very good discussions on a wide range of issues, and I look forward to talking to Parliament.
A source with knowledge of the discussions in the Oval Office yesterday confirms reviving the Keystone XL pipeline was raised between the two leaders. The extension would bring Alberta crude into the U.S. It was in the context of more energy cooperation between the two countries, but was also linked to relief on steel and aluminum tariffs.
Certainly, it could be another one of the levers that increases North American energy security, and so it certainly warrants exploring.
South Bow is now the proponent of the project, and while the Canadian company isn't privy to conversations between the governments, a spokesperson tells CTV News, quote, South Bow is supportive of efforts to find solutions that increase the transportation of Canadian crude oil. While a pipeline may be possible, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is dismissing the prospect of an auto deal with Canada. Sources say at a Eurasia Group summit, Lutnick said the Americans could continue buying auto parts from Canada, but that's about it.
Auto pack's been around since the 1960s. You can't unscramble an egg, you have to make the omelet larger.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. On Parliament Hill, Opposition Leader Pierre Poilievre called out the Prime Minister for not getting a deal in D.C. and promising more investment in the U.S.
The Prime Minister went pathetically to the White House to offer a $1 trillion gift, bowing before the President in weakness.
We have the best deal with the Americans, and the third thing that's true is we will get an even better deal because
A source with knowledge of the Oval Office discussion describes it as a very initial conversation to see if President Trump would be interested in reviving the Keystone expansion. Mike Licouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, cats in costumes. Adam finds out the connection between quirky collages and a meaningful connection next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Win a fall cleanup with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Text JUNK to 71010 with your first name for your chance to win. Clean up your home or maybe your neighborhood with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Details at ctvnewsvi.ca.
And finally, Adam finds out how a woman's quirky creativity inspired an unexpected connection with her dad on this Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When she went walking to the thrift store that day, Helga Strauss was searching for inspiration.
Anything that's sparking some interest.
And in this case, it was a book about Marilyn Monroe and a couple others about cats that Helga started cutting up.
It's almost like making a puzzle.
But instead of using prefabricated pieces, Helga was making up the puzzle as she went.
Sometimes you get those pieces together and just like, click.
And this time, a kitten's head unexpectedly clicked on Marilyn's body.
And I was just like, oh my God, I just loved it so much. I just found myself just giggling to myself like nonstop.
So Helga didn't stop. She started creating countless collages featuring cats wearing all sorts of costumes. And when she was done with the books, found inspiration in junk mail featuring prescription glasses.
And I just took one look and I was like, I got to put those on some cats.
Collages featuring felines wearing frames led to kittens in clawfoot tubs.
Just pure joy and hilarity.
Just so different than what Helga was feeling after her dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
It was really, really painful, really tough.
The dad, who had provided so much comfort and so much inspiration for so long, was disappearing.
So many days were filled with tears, but this was a place where I could go and escape and find that joy.
But even better, when Helga would share the collages with her dad, he would find his joy too.
And even, in his diminished capacity, he could see that it was, a cat head on this human body and have a little chuckle too.
And they would connect in a way that can't be constructed with scissors or attached with glue, making the memories that even when forgotten, your heart always remembers.
Always follow your joy. Always.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
And that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your night. Tonight on CTV News.
I want to be very clear. Zero means zero.
Motion approved. Council halts increases for Vancouver property taxes. But does this mean cuts to city staff and services? Also tonight.
My message to all of the 25 fugitives on this list today is simple. The odds are not in your favor.
How two men from the Lower Mainland ended up on Canada's top 25 most wanted list. And
step one is, here and I'm playing, so that's it's a huge accomplishment.
Hockey is back. We hear from the 18-year-old Canucks rookie set to make his NHL debut.
This is CTV News with Kevin Sharratt.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Homeowners and business owners in Vancouver will be off the hook when it comes to paying more in property taxes next year. Today, City Council voted to greenlight a 0% increase. Council approved Mayor Ken Sims' zero means zero motion. It directs staff to maintain core services, including libraries, community centers, and policing. Staff are now tasked with finding savings of about $125 million. Opposition councillors criticized the mayor for not outlining what services could be on the chopping block.
What we have before us is an 11th hour move by the mayor introducing a last-minute motion that lacks substance. There's no detail. There's no facts.
We have to be very clear here. Residents are going through an affordability crisis. We don't have, the luxury of time, whereas, you have residents that they're struggling to put meals on the table. They are struggling to make rent.
The city manager says it will take time to work through the details. It's possible the budget won't be voted on until early in the new year. As of this morning, all government-run BC liquor and cannabis stores are now officially closed. It's just the latest move in a long, drawn-out strike. BC GEU picket lines could be seen at locations across the province, and where there were none, plenty of customers were surprised to find locked doors. The union's strategy since the beginning of the 6-week-long strike has been to ramp up job action gradually.
In a typical strike, all of our members would have been all out right from the beginning, and you would have seen all these services, including liquor and cannabis distribution, shut down right from the beginning. We didn't do that.
But the union says it has no choice because it hasn't received an acceptable offer. The government, in turn, believes it's being fair. Meanwhile, all Service BC locations have also been closed. 2 Lower Mainland men have been added to the list of Canada's top 25 most wanted fugitives. They're now part of the BOLO program, which stands for Be on the Lookout and pays big money for information leading to convictions. Omid Mashinchi is wanted in connection with a large drug operation in Vancouver. Another local case involves Gurkirat Singh. He's at large following an alleged sexual assault of a child in Delta last year.
The recent apprehension of Cody Casey, who is 3rd on Canada's most wanted list, is a prime example of the success of the BOLO program. The major financial rewards provided by the BOLO program heighten the public's interest and keep these most wanted offenders in the public eye.
My message to all of the 25 fugitives on this list today is simple. The odds are not in your favor. Call a lawyer, come up with a plan to surrender, and just like Rabbi Al-Khalil, your time on the run is over.
At this morning's news conference, police officers wore hyper-realistic masks depicting the suspects on the wanted list. More than half of the fugitives featured on the BOLO Top 25 since 2018 have been arrested. We are following breaking news on the war in Gaza. U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel and Hamas have reached an agreement on the first phase of a peace plan. In a post on Truth Social, Trump says this means that all hostages will be released, quote, very soon. He adds that Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line. The message came 2 hours after he was handed a note from Marco Rubio during a meeting saying there was a post awaiting his approval announcing a deal had been struck. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later posted on X saying he will be convening his government tomorrow to approve the agreements. Question period at the BC legislature this afternoon was dominated by questions about First Nations rights and their impact on private property rights. CTV's Rob Buffum joins us live from Victoria with more on this. Rob.
Kevin, two recent court decisions, the Cowichan tribes and the Haida Gwaii, that relate to Aboriginal title over private property rights have sparked a lot of backlash and controversy that spilled over and featured prominently in the BC legislature today. The court in Cowichan tribes found that private fee simple land and Aboriginal title can coexist and suggested that Aboriginal title was superior between the two. The NDP government is one of several parties appealing that decision. The opposition note that the government didn't argue at trial that the two rights can't coexist. The Conservatives also say the NDP are being hypocritical when its members call the Conservatives fearmongers for raising concerns about the impact of private property.
Perhaps the Premier could clear, by calling us fear-mongering for raising this issue, is he also calling the Attorney General fear-mongering for raising the same issue?
The opposition leader is proposing in that letter that he sent to me to go to the Supreme Court of Canada is legally, in effect, nonsensical and would actually do harm to the case.
Question period today also featured questions from the new 1BC party about transgender rights and a push from a private member's bill to address related issues like hormone therapy, allegations of transgender surgery on minors, and the use of pronouns in schools. That private member's bill was brought by Tara Armstrong, one of the two members of 1BC. It did not pass first reading, with the Greens, NDP, and independent Eleanor Sturko voting against it. It is unusual for a bill not to pass first reading because convention dictates it usually would, so folks can get a sense of what's in that bill. But today it did not pass, and I would say expect lots more of these culture wars in the weeks ahead. Kevin.
That is Rob Buffum live in Victoria. Rob, thank you. A court appearance was held in Surrey today for 3 men charged in a major extortion and firearms investigation that's left many South Asian business owners on edge. Arandeep Singh, Nirmandeep Chima, and Mandeep Gidda each face a charge of reckless discharge of a firearm. It's part of a months-long RCMP-led probe into threats and violence targeting restaurants and shops across Metro Vancouver. Police allege victims were ordered to pay money or risk their business being shot at or set on fire. The case comes amid a spike in violence, including 4 shootings in Surrey this week, 2 at the same restaurant, which had also been targeted in Maple Ridge. A court-ordered publication ban is in place, restricting what can be reported from the hearing, but all 3 men are scheduled to return to court in the coming weeks. BC billionaire Chip Wilson has been fined over unauthorized election signs outside his Point Grey mansion. Elections BC fined the Lululemon founder $600 for failing to register before sponsoring election advertising. Wilson put up 3 signs outside his $82 million property during last October's provincial election, including one where he called Premier David Eby and the NDP communist. Coming up, hockey's back.
Take it all in. You only get to do it once. So first game, it's pretty special.
Coots gets the call. After an impressive preseason, 18-year-old Braden Coots is set to make his regular season debut. Stay with us.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by
CapitalDirect.ca. Let's make your vision a reality with Capital Direct. Call and talk to our team today.
The puck drops on another campaign of Vancouver Canucks hockey tomorrow night at Rogers Arena. After a strong training camp, the team's first-round pick from last June's draft made the roster. As CTV's Ben Milger reports, Braden Coots is set to become the first 18-year-old to start the season with the Canucks in 35 years.
Good spot, tipped in.
Braden Coots' mantra at Canucks training camp has been to just earn another day. With 2 goals and 2 assists in preseason action, he's done more than that and is expected to be in the lineup on opening night.
Obviously, you don't take it for granted at all, but, I knew I can, possibly do it just by playing hockey. So just being myself, focusing on what I do best, and just keep trying to earn another day.
Coots is the first 18-year-old to start the season with the Canucks since Peter Nedved did it back in 1990. He's likely to get at least 9 games with the big club, and then the team has to make a decision. If he plays in a 10th game, the Canucks can't send him back to junior. Despite his youth, Coots has shown a willingness to play a physical style. Coach Adam Foote expects to utilize him in a variety of situations.
We're always going to look at matchups when we can, but we're not going to get stuck on matchups either when we don't have control of it. But he's proven that he can defend with his mind and his body, and he's not afraid to get physical either.
It's no secret the Canucks are thin down the middle, and that has helped Coots make his way onto the team.
He came in and he's done everything to earn this opportunity, but I do think we have to take a broader picture and look at the depth down the middle, and it was an issue in the summertime. If they were a stronger team at center ice, it would have been more difficult for an 18-year-old to break into the National Hockey League.
Management continues to work the phones, looking to bolster the team through a trade. If that happens, Coots could be sent back to his junior team in Seattle. But Thursday, he'll play in his first NHL game.
Take it all in, you only get to do it once. So, first game, it's pretty special.
For Coots, Thursday promises to be a night to remember. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by Capital Direct.
CapitalDirect.ca.
A new exhibit at Science World is showcasing the story of a young Indigenous girl through the magical world of animation.
Molly is here to teach the community, not just Indigenous people, but everybody surrounding that's going to come into Science World about the Alaskan 7 sacred teachings.
Inspired by an acclaimed kids program, Animation Adventure with Molly of Denali brings the world of Alaska native Molly Mabray to life. The hands-on exhibit lets guests become animators, storyboard their own scenes, and step inside a 360-degree projection of the Northern Lights. It aims to inspire the next generation of creative technologists while celebrating Alaska's Indigenous culture. Still to come, get ready for a cool down and has your forecast next. Plus, you'll get to know Apple, the 4-year-old rabbit, and other animals up for adoption in Metro Vancouver on our weekly Homeward Bound segment after the break. Live shot of Burrard and Georgia, and a lot of jackets. I don't believe I see anyone in shorts. There's always one person who wears shorts well into October. Yes. No shorts out there.
No, it's not too bad. We are seeing mostly cloudy skies, some sun breaking through right now. A ridge of high pressure towards the northern half of the province. But for us, we do have a weak low spinning about, and that is going to continue to bring us unsettled conditions. So we had a few scattered showers earlier on today, and that's what we can expect as we head through this evening into tomorrow morning for your early morning commute. As you can see, a line of showers, but then it does dry up slowly through the afternoon, clears up nicely for the eastern sections of the Fraser Valley as well as the northeast corner of Metro Vancouver. But for us downtown, it'll stay cloudy. For the southern interior, blue skies and sunshine, warm temperatures from Kamloops right down to Osoyoos between 18 and 20 degrees. You'll see 21 for Nelson, 17 for Revelstoke, 18 for Cranbrook. For the central coast and central interior, clear and calm, temperatures between between 10 and 17 degrees for the northern half of the province. Blue skies and sunshine as well. Temperatures between 11 and 15 degrees for the North Island. You'll see mostly sunny skies for Port Hardy. Different story for Campbell River and Comox. Cloudy skies, showers, and 14 degrees for the South Island. You're looking at scattered showers for Tofino with some sunny breaks. Other than that, light rain from Port Alberni right down to Victoria. Temperatures between 14 and 15 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies, few showers for the Sunshine Coast. Same story up the Sea to Sky Highway. A touch warmer at 15 for Whistler and Squamish. And for us across the Lower Mainland, we're looking at a showery start to the day, drying up through the afternoon, clearing up for the Fraser Valley with temperatures between 14 degrees near the water, 17 degrees further inland. Heading into Friday, that's when the rain returns, dropping down to 13 degrees. You'll definitely need your umbrellas that day. Into Saturday morning to kick off the Thanksgiving Day long weekend. Breaks through the afternoon, light rain on Sunday, cooler yet at 11, and then we'll be thankful for a mix of sun and cloud on Monday to enjoy your turkey. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, a little chilly and wet on Saturday, Sunday, but Monday,
yeah,
not too shabby.
Not a washout at all.
All right, let's talk some animals,
yes.
Ann. It is time for Homeward Bound, a new weekly segment where we introduce you to furry friends from local rescues who are looking for their forever home. Here are 3 animals up for adoption at the Regional Animal Protection Society in Richmond. First up, 4-year-old Weston has come a long way since he was found living in a colony near a Surrey bus stop. The short-hair brown tabby has become more confident after a lot of positive interactions and is now a lap cat in training. He's not bothered by other cats, but is prone to a bit of jealousy. Weston is very affectionate once he gets to know you and will shine in a safe and loving home.
Adorable. And Tabiko is a blue-eyed flame point Siamese who was transferred from a shelter in Prince George this summer. At 2 years old, he is quite independent for his age, but is still learning his manners. He is curious and playful and loves attention from people on his own terms. Tabiko would do well in a home where there's lots to see and do with an experienced owner who will understand his signals.
Apple is a 4-year-old rabbit that was found under a hood of a car at just 6 months old. She grew up playing with cats and kittens and is looking for some new 4-legged friends who wouldn't mind sharing their home with another pet. Apple has room to roam at the sanctuary with access to a small room and patio and would love a similar setup in her new home.
Apple is adorable, and as well as the other kitties.
Very cute.
Yeah.
And
for more information, email info@rapsbc.com or call 604-275-2036.
All right, and still to come, country legend Dolly Parton breaks her silence amid recent health concerns. Plus,
he wouldn't leave. He kept coming back to me.
If you need another reason to love dogs, you're going to love this story on how Eeyore saved the day. Stay with us.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Vancouver, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art. I'm not the art police. It's like everybody is allowed to feel exactly how they want, and what our goal is as entertainers is to be a mirror.
Taylor Swift says she's taking mixed reviews of her new album in stride while speaking with Apple Music's Zane Lowe. There's certainly been a lot of positive reaction from fans to The Life of a Showgirl. Swift's 12th album has smashed a number of streaming records, and its cinematic release party was #1 at the box office this past weekend. Country legend Dolly Parton is breaking her silence amid recent health concerns spurned by the singer's sister on social media.
There's just a lot of rumors flying around, but I figured if you heard it from me, you'd know that I was okay. And I'm not ready to die yet. Hey, Natalie.
Parton issued this video assuring fans she's fine and on a set working on commercials. She stated some of her, quote, problems were linked to her husband's death in March when she neglected her own health, but is now in the process of getting treatment. This comes as her sister Frida Parton apologized today for sparking concern with a recent Facebook post asking for prayers for Dolly's health. Good to see she's doing well. Now with a preview of CTV News at 6, here's Michelle Bernaro.
Now, Kevin, we'll hear details from a trial involving a former Kamloops lawyer who's admitted to killing his own client, but wasn't murder. Plus, we'll have much more on Vancouver City Council's decision to freeze property taxes in the next budget and why there's opposition to the move. Also, we've got a story about a development company pushing back after the city of Delta rejected a plan to build towers in Tsawwassen. And we'll tell you why scientists from a Canadian university are looking for thousands of toenails. Kevin?
Michelle, thank you. A happy ending after tense moments in Florida as a loyal dog leads a deputy to its lost owner. Plus, a cop busts a move before busting a loud party. CNN's Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
This is the story of Eeyore, a heroic dog in Florida that led a sheriff's deputy directly to an injured woman gone missing. Okaloosa County Deputy Devin Miller responded to a report of an elderly woman who didn't return from a walk with her son's dog in a Destin neighborhood.
She never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost an hour and a half.
After interviewing the woman's distraught husband, Deputy Miller began searching the area and soon...
Where's the dog?
Spotted the dog, named Eeyore. Yep, just like the perpetually depressed doggy from Winnie the Pooh. But whereas that Eeyore likely would have shrugged and said, "Why bother?" This Eeyore went above and beyond.
Tell me where Mama is.
Leading the deputy from her vehicle directly to the spot where the missing 86-year-old woman had fallen on a sidewalk. She was unable to get up, but alert, and couldn't believe how the deputy had found her.
He wouldn't believe. He kept coming back to me. I'm not even his owner. I'm his grandmother.
The deputy called EMS and got the woman the help she needed, all thanks to the heroics of one very sweet and very loyal pupster.
Oh, Eeyore, you're a good boy. Grandma loves you.
Ask anyone in law enforcement and they'll likely tell you policing a community effectively is a delicate dance. Case in point, check out the moves on this Tulsa, Oklahoma officer who was responding to a noise complaint of loud music from a gathering. The officer did issue a citation, but before leaving, got into the groove himself. The department later said the people out there appreciated his style and also agreed to turn the music down. It just goes to show that Gloria Estefan was right. Eventually, the rhythm is going to get you. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
That's the electric slide?
I don't know what that is. It's good moves. That's what do I know.
Eeyore for the win, though.
Oh, my goodness. Such a good boy.
What a good boy, for sure. Original artwork by late TV host and painter Bob Ross is set to be auctioned off. Auction house Bonham says 30 of Ross's paintings will be sold at various auctions. The first, set for November 11th, will feature these two pieces, Home in the Valley and Winter's Peace. Funds raised will support public television in the U.S. Ross's show, The Joy of Painting, aired for more than a decade on PBS in the 1980s and 90s. Iconic show.
Yes, the happy trees there. And look at these fabulous fall colors at Algonquin Park. Thanks, Gord, for sending this photo in. And you can email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca to send in your photo.
Thank you, Anne. That is it for us. We will return for CTV News at 6 with Michelle Bernauer. And now, here is Sandy Ronaldo with CTV National News. Have a great rest of your night.